All right. So here it is. Go day. Um, the house is sold and it's all emptied out. All right, it's adventure time. Let's hit the road. All right. Hi, my name is Gord. I am about to embark on a year-long road trip in my 2010, it's a Gen 3 Prius that I've converted into a tiny camper. Um, I'll do a tour video when I get to a campsite somewhere where I can fully set up the rig and show you all of that. But for now, yeah, the house is sold. I have a few things in a storage unit and I sold off the rest of my belongings. So first things first, I've got a load of stuff I've got to take to Goodwill. Then I'm free. All right, Goodwill drop-off achieved. Stuff is missing in the back. It's about 10 a.m. Now, I do have a hotel booked for a couple nights. This is my first night on the road, and I don't know, selling the house, packing everything, moving everything, and then cleaning has been like a non-stop go for several weeks now. And it's been pretty anxiety provoking. Anyone who's ever sold a house, moved, you probably know what I mean. And so, yeah, the idea of stealth camping on the city street somewhere, my first night, especially in October, it's gonna actually go down to freezing tonight. Um, and tomorrow night. So yeah, just more reasons that I have decided to stay in a hotel my first 2 nights out of the house. Um, the dog, Valentine, who I guess you haven't met yet since this is my first video, um, she has a vet appointment on Monday before we leave town. So, it's currently Wednesday. So I got about 5 days that I gotta bum around town. Um, and then I head off into the wild. Um, all right, I'm gonna drive to the park. You can meet Valentine and see you there. Hey, big girl. For the park? All right, so I want to introduce you to my dog Valentine. So she's going to be my sort of partner in crime for the road trip. Um, I have had her for almost 14 years. She was a rescue. She came into the shelter pregnant. So she's anywhere between like, you know, 15 and 16. It's really unclear. Definitely think this road trip is kind of going to be her last hurrah. She's really slowing down, but she'll still walk like 3 to 6 kilometers, not all in one go. Um, but I'm a little bit excited for this road trip to be like the adventure of her life as well. Um, hopefully. So yeah, this is Valentine. So yeah, my name's Gord, and we're going to be on this road trip together. Uh, so we're going to go walk around the lake. All right, we just walked about halfway around the lake. I let the old girl take a rest, although she is actually rest. And I don't know, man, I just needed to do something crazy. I felt like the world was broken and I needed an adventure. I needed peace. I needed clarity. And I thought I could find that in nature. Uh, so I've spent quite a lot of time in extraordinarily remote parts of northern Canada, the camping with an electric pair fence around our tents and a helicopter or a float plane dropping you and picking you up weeks later. So compared to that, I feel like my little car setup, which I know you haven't really seen yet, uh, I mean, it's glamping in the extreme. So besides, I think the trepidation of just not knowing what's out there, it's really, I think the biggest impediment to starting this kind of lifestyle, it's just the unknown, right? I've never slept in my car on a city street, and right now that kind of terrifies me, I'll be honest. I have done some test trips in the car to actual campgrounds, and those were amazing. But that could get expensive. Campgrounds these days, I think the one I paid for it's been like $30. That just feels a bit much. So, I obviously can't be doing that every night of the year because that's essentially, if you do that 40 times 30 days, that's like what, $1,200 a month. I might as well get an apartment at that point. So yeah, that's what happened. That's why I've got my life on the road, and I'm scared, I gotta say, but I'm also really excited. Those two emotions mix in a really funny way. I think when I see mountains, ocean, and gigantic trees, I think I'm gonna be really excited. All right, this one's tied herself up on rocks, so let's leave it there. Her and I are gonna finish our walk. Good morning, baby girl. Yeah. All right, so we have completed our hotel stay before we head out. Valentine's sleeping in. Yeah, so her vet appointment went great. We got refills on her medications, and I was also able to finish a few errands like getting my hair cut. I got double vaccinated. So got my updated COVID-19 and my flu and just a bunch of other errands, and we are ready to go. So I'm gonna pack up the hotel here, and we can hit the road. right, and just like that, I've left the town and the den for 9 or 10 years, and we are on the road. So, where are we going, you might be thinking? Uh, Ultimately, heading south to warmer weather. But I mentioned a few of my anxieties, and so what I've decided to do is start out with a quest. And I'll tell you more about what that is, but my quest is basically taking me to Idaho. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little dash mount to take some footage of the sites that I go. So, I'll give you a little bit of a time lapse of the drive. This is definitely not going to be to scale. I don't expect to show you a lot of Indiana and Illinois farmlands, but when we get further west, I think there's going to be a lot of cool things that we drive by. So, now that we're on the road, we're striking west to Idaho. Let's get that drive done. It's basically 24 hours of driving that I'm going to split up over 3 days.
Little one, we made it.
I don't want to film too much at my friend's house to give him his privacy. So I'm trying to avoid kind of showing the house and the location. But we will go inside real quick and I will finally reveal the quest that we've been on to come all the way out to Idaho. All right, so the grand reveal. This was who I was rescuing. Um, I'm a plant guy. I probably had 50 different houseplants in my place. a lot of them were just generic houseplants, and I gave them away to neighbors and friends. Uh, but this plant came from this house almost 10 years ago. So the first time I visited here in Idaho, I've been here several times. First time I visited, I just sort of took a cutting from the plant and I took it home in my luggage. This is something I commonly do. Um, so this was my rescue quest to make sure that this plant came home to this house uh, where it belonged. I know that's a little bit silly, but I do really love plants and I'm kind of nostalgic, and I think my friend is too. And so, yeah, I just feel like I couldn't think of a better place for this plant than back in the house where I took a cutting from it almost 10 years ago. So that's my quest to Idaho to rescue this plant, to rescue a life. Uh, it is now complete. Um, I'm going to spend a few days here recuperating from that long drive. And then I'm going to actually start the car life thing. Probably drive down to where it's warmer. Southern Arizona is probably where I'm headed next. If you made it this far, I am very grateful. I know that some of the audio is not going to be very good and some of the footage is not very good. I promise you, I'm going to learn how to do this stuff. I've already ordered some slightly better equipment that's going to get delivered here before I hit the road. So maybe you'll even see some differences in the next video. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. Please consider subscribing, liking, sharing the video, all that stuff. All right. I'll catch you guys in my next one.